Hey guys, look who's back. He's done, you know.
I got a nice tan.
Done floating it up. All right, so this week we're gonna try and finish that 8 1/4. Had some ideas on how to fix it, and we're gonna give that locker another shot before I get out the plasma cutter and just start cutting that locker to pieces and buy a new one.
Did you have that much trouble with it?
You have no clue. Wait till you edit the video. You'll see. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna attempt to get that done. Well, no, we're gonna get it done. It's just whether we gotta buy a new locker or not. Anywho, do brakes, and then we're going to work on finishing the body side or frame side, unibody, whatever side of the 4-link conversion. And then we'll go from there if we have time, but we'll see what happens.
Okay.
So let's get busy, or we ain't getting nothing done.
Yeah, we ain't getting nothing done.
All right, guys. So let me get back to where we are. We have the axle side piece for the driver's side slid in there. And we went ahead and put our C-clip on and pushed the axle back. So the next part, our actual locker piece, will slide in, flats facing north-south, is the way I found it to go the easiest. Look at that, and that sticks. Axle cap goes in. Hopefully you have small hands and fingers doing this, but chances are you probably don't. There it goes. Make sure it's fully seated. Like the Flintstones, a dabba-do-ya. Then you get to work with your other hand. Now once I got it in there, I want to grab the axle, ease it in, and give it a rotate so that your splines line up. Now on the passenger side, or the drinker side as Derek would say, these two pieces have to go in as one. And you want to make sure that you have access to this spot right here, because that's how you're going to put your C-clip in and probably hate life. Okay. And yeah, flats. Okay, so once you've fought and done all the things to get it in there, go ahead, push the axle in, go forward, right there. We're gonna have to use teamwork here.
Yeah.
We gotta rotate this around to where these line up. So I need you to rotate that axle.
Which way?
Pick a direction. Okay. Keep going. Hang on. Go again.
There. Now that one's captured.
Okay. Now we have to turn this whole. Like we got to turn it at the pinion.
The carrier and all. All right. Ready?
Rotate. Keep going. Okay, stop.
Oh, I went the wrong.
Nope, you're good. Right there. All right. Turn the axle. A little bit. Whoop. Go back the opposite direction. Right there. Now.
Once you get the pin in, you got to put the retaining pin in that.
I guess I could have got a ratcheting wrench, but
Mm-hmm.
or a ratchet.
You just wanted to do it the hard way.
Everything else with this thing has been hard. Why not? Keep the theme alive.
Alrighty, so putting the axle back together, all we got left is doing the brakes. We went ahead and put the diff cover on. We're fixing to fill it with fluid, and then we're gonna do the brakes, and then the rear axle will be complete. We're ready to go under it.
Yep.
Yes. All right, fluid and brakes. There we go. Nice new shiny brakes. And drums. Getting our tubing put back in. So we're to the point, the breather. We decided that we were just gonna make the hole and use the breather that we, already had instead of welding it up.
Yeah. Hopefully it fits.
All right. Sometimes ingenuity prevails. By the way, thanks, Rusty. And for those you don't know, Rusty may not either. He's gonna be clueless.
He'll know tonight.
Rusty bought an extended brake line kit for the ex-wife, which was not the person, the Jeep that he used to have, that he already sold. But he bought an extended brake line kit, and it came with all the brake lines needed to redo the whole rear axle.
No,
and
he bought a factory brake line.
Factory brake line kit, and then never used it. So guess what? We're using it now. We got nice new coiled, all the good looking fun stuff. And yes, we are zip stripping. It's just the easiest way to do it.
Don't hate.
No. All to this right here.
You can hate in a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yep.
we're getting there. We've got it fitted. Now we just got to be able to secure this to this.
Okay, guys. So I'm going to show you some jankiness, but it's going to work. All right. So when we put our truss on, there's our breather hole. However, with the thickness of this piece will not go through that and go in there. So, simple solution, weld it.
Yep.
These will still come off. I can still use this, and if I ever have to replace my extended brake line, I just gotta bust the welds. It sucks, but it's what we can afford. We got wire, we got grinders. What we don't have is money for parts.
It's there, I guess.
It's a rock crawler. It's not going to SEMA. When it's done, it's gonna look too good to go to SEMA. It's gonna have drive shafts and all the other stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting to the point that it's almost needing to be renamed again to Booger.
Hey, there might be a few booger welds.
All right, guys.
All right, now that I'm down here all comfy, we're gonna put the upper control arm brackets on. I believe that's what it said it was. And it has a little notch here that indexes off of that hole right there. And when it goes up there, it should look something like that. Sorry, I got my mitts in the way, but I gotta hold it up or to hit me in the face. And well, that's not cool.
So something very important on these brackets here, gussets, sorry, squared gussets. So they don't sit flat against the frame rail like it might show in the picture. They actually sit at a bit of an angle. They sit flat against the back of the
control arm.
the control arm bracket, and then that part mounts to the other part. So this particular, here we go. This particular side actually has a little cut, which is where the fuel line is gonna go, as you can see.
Prepare for automotive yoga.
All right, well, here's the next one welded in. It's, yes, the welding looks like crap, but we've got the muffler in our way. We've got the bottom lip bracket underneath it, so it's just there, but it sits angled this way and then sits up against the frame. Lower link, upper link.
Lower.
The lowers go on the axle.
No.
Oh,
You have it
upper and a lower. Yep. Yep. Lower control arm modification.
Okay, so since we put frame stiffeners on our XJ, we have to modify the lower link bracket. This little nub here, they send a whole piece, and this is supposed to key into it, but since we have the frame stiffeners, we got to grind it off and then set it, what did I say, 6 5/16 of an inch from the upper ones we just put in, but we'll show you that when we get under the Jeep.
All right, so we're to the point of putting on the lower control arms. We talked about the upper control arms and the little gussets that go on it. Next is going to be the upper. Now,
Lower.
the lower. Now, yes, it's already up there, but we couldn't find a good way to hold it and record it and all that other stuff, so we put a slight tack in it. So, measurement from this edge to this tab is 6 5/16 inch. So, however that works out. And remember, you took off your little nub from that side.
If you have frame stiffeners.
If you have frame stiffeners. But that also being said, we do have frame stiffeners, and it sits right on the edge of it because this is the piece that they send to actually put on there. And it actually, that's where that nub would index at, is right there. So when you put it on here, it lines up, oh, perfectly and great and everything else. But when you put it up here on frame stiffeners, not as much, but it will work. So we're gonna get this one finished welded in. We're gonna get the other side welded in, and then we will go to the next step. All right, guys. So the next step is putting together your bump stops and coil spring brackets, something or another. So you've got these little pieces right here that come, and you have to weld them to this plate. Now with the instructions, they say, you know, so if you've got them laying out like this is your passenger, this is your driver. But to be specific, just to show you what we've done, you take these two and you set them in the little preset holes. There's holes that are there, and they just sit right down in it. And the only thing you're gonna do is you're gonna weld on the inside to hold it together, and weld on the bottom like that to hold it together, and then you'll go in and grind it flat. That way it can be welded on, but there's no need to fill in any of this, anything like that, because all you're doing is your bump stop is sitting down into it. There's no weight going on it, nothing like that. It's just an alignment, more or less.
I mean, it's going to retain your...
Well, retain the spring, but weld the inside of it enough to hold it, and the bottom of it.
Okay, guys. So we went ahead and tacked up our upper coil bucket retainer and our bump stop mount. Let me show you. Looks like that. So there's a hole right there, and that aligns with your old bump stop bolt hole. On the driver's side, it's the very back one. I'm sure the passenger's the same way, but we ain't got there yet. You can kind of see where it is on the frame.
So yeah, you should have just a small little slit there. Now again, this is different because we have the frame stiffeners. If we didn't have the frame stiffeners, this edge would actually touch the frame.
So I'm gonna get that all welded in, and then you take your bent diamond looking piece, and it will sit about like so, and it'll get welded in. I'm not gonna make you watch all that welding. Just ain't doing it. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done though. So let me get at it. Woo! Something's on fire.
Now we got Patrick all tucked in.
I'm ready for a nap now.
Look at that. No spark burn. All right, there it is. There's the coil buckets, or they're coil buckets and bump stop holder welded in all the way around as much as we can get. Every surface that could be welded is welded. So next is the shock mounts. Okay, so next step is going to be the shock mount bracket. Yes, shock mount bracket. This is what they look like. This is going to end up being your passenger side. That one's going to end up being your driver's side. But these are the pieces. This piece here sits there, and it's somewhat dumb-proof. A big piece and a small piece, and a big hole and a small hole, and it just sits in there. Sit in there, we'll weld them together. All right, you guys. That's what it's supposed to look like. Minus, we did a little modification. So, where it does, when it mounts, so go back to the first Reese hitch bolt right here, and it's gonna mount to it. Now, again, having the frame stiffeners, we ran into yet another problem, and the bolt won't line up. So what we've done is we've cut the tail off of it, and then lined up where it's gonna go to right before it. So right there's where it's gonna sit. You can see there's the spring mount. It sits straight back, but it indexes off that first bolt hole. So we're gonna line all this stuff up, hold it, and go buzz buzz. All right, so right there, we've got it tacked, so no one's holding it. But right there's where it's gonna go, because remember your shock mounts are pushed out further, so they're just gonna come straight down. But that's where it goes. So we are going to go put the other side, and for the most part, that's everything you gotta do to actually get this 4-link in. Next step will actually be putting the axle back in, and then once we get the axle underneath it, kind of where we want it, driveline attached, springs underneath it, all that stuff is when you'll actually do your control arms. But we'll talk about that as we go, just giving you the prep. That is everything that needs to be welded in. So, we will be back when we're ready to throw the axle underneath it. All right, guys. We had to do some ingenuity.
Ingenuity is always a thing. But it is what it is.
We did finish frame side. We got all the stuff on there done.
Yep.
Easy peasy.
We got a few more welds, to be perfectly honest.
There's a lot more welds.
Well, I mean, we got to finish welding the shock brackets, but they're right next to the gas tank, and I want to go super slow. Be super careful.
Come on, it's just gasoline.
I know. I'm trying not to blow up your shop. Not me. I'm not worried about me. Anywho, and I've got a couple tack welds on this brake line setup. But other than that, for the most part, we met our goal today.
Yeah.
Got the locker in.
Locker's in.
All the brakes done.
Brakes are done. Frame side's done.
Yep. Minus a couple welds.
Yeah, and even the whole, we found a way to mount that, by God.
By golly, George, it worked. So.
That's the end of this week.
Yep. We'll see you guys next week.
Remember, like, subscribe, and share, please.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.